Wow.
What are you nerding out about?
We're
Oh,
already
God.
jumping in there.
I had 2 answers for this question before I came in, or I had 1 answer for this question before I came into the show, but now I have a new answer to this question, and this is going to sound old as hell. Okay, this is just I'm going to sound really old. I just left a doctor's appointment where I'm going to get my hip fixed finally.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. No,
Wait. So, I've been dealing with hip pain for like 5 years, on and off, and doctors say they couldn't fix it, but this doctor said he could fix it, and he's going to do the surgery in December when we have a break from our comedy tour. And I'm really excited about getting it fixed so that I could sleep without a pillow between my legs.
Yeah.
I know that sounds horrible. That sounds cheesy as hell.
No,
But that's what's exciting to a 46-year-old.
Nerding out about quality of life increases is awesome.
Look, it's not just
everybody was like,
yeah,
this guy really is the dad bod. He really is old. The whole audience is like, wow, he went there.
Look, when I was in my early 20s, somebody had given me a waterbed, and when that little heat thing went out on it and that waterbed got cold, even then at 20, I was like, I get it. I'd like to fix my back and hip pain too. Holy crap.
Yeah. I mean, I can't. I mean, what happened to waterbeds? Speaking of which,
they got punctured one too many times and caused so much damage that people gave up on them.
Is that what it was, or did they just realize that that's a horrible idea? Because I've had waterbeds when I was a kid. I had the full motion, and then the semi motion, and then the no motion, which really was the same thing as like a sleep number. But I don't know. They just like all of a sudden disappeared one day, and waterbeds were gone.
Yeah, my parents had a waterbed.
So you broke it.
I didn't break the waterbed. I broke
mirror.
the mirror on their headboard.
Yeah, his daddy had a mirror on the headboard. Yeah.
And those were some big, sturdy. They were pieces of furniture. They were big pieces of furniture. You didn't move those without a plan.
Claire Neal says, "Aloha, snack bar."
That's my brother-in-law.
Okay, that's funny. All right, so waterbeds, right? I saw a TikTok where they only had about a decade of high rise and then faded out. Now, what I think is all the single guys who bought them, they finally got women, and women's like, no, this is horrible. I do not want to sleep on this bed. Or you kept it for a while and you tried to move. Nobody moves a waterbed. That's how I got one for free. They were like, if you come and get it, you can have it. We are not moving this thing again.
And I remember you had to have like extra insurance if you were in an apartment and you had one.
Oh, yeah, because of flood.
In case of the floods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were good old times. They were the best times.
Oh. Joe, what are you nerding out about?
I am nerding out about Rogue One. So I just finished Andor 2. And so that leads directly into Rogue One. And so my wife and I were like, well, we haven't watched Rogue One since it came out. We should rewatch it. And man, it's good. It's very good. In fact, I think I would say it was better than I remembered. And that might be biased because now I have backstory on Cassian and everything. I did have some small issues where how they portrayed Cassian in Rogue One versus Andor, there are some discrepancies there, but they're relatively minor. But yeah, no, Rogue One, fantastic storytelling, fantastic everything. So that's the one thing that I'm nerding out about. But the other thing is actually teaching tech to my kids. So earlier today, I took our episode from last week and I was clipping it up to go on our WNN Clips channel. And I asked my son, I was like, hey, I know you've shown interest in video editing. Did you want to come down and take a look, see how I edit for the normal clips versus editing for shorts and things like that? And he's like, I don't really care about the regular clips, but I would love to see how you do the shorts. And so he came down and I showed him how I took our horizontal normal format and edited it into a short format. And I had noted last week in our show notes a couple of segments that I thought would be good for shorts. And so I showed him how I break it up into the different people that are on the show, so that I can have each of them perspective, but I hide those and I just show the overall, and then I select every single track. So I clone them multiple times, but then I select every track, and I just hit play, and I say, okay, there's going to be a transition here, and I just clip at every single section, and then when I get to the end, I just delete the parts that aren't needed and re-show it and everything. And he was like, oh, that's a lot easier than I thought it would be to do that. And so it was fun to see how excited he was to learn and to share that with him and just have a little bit of a moment this morning.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. It's just that's good stuff. My son is 20, my oldest is 20, and apparently there's a TikTok trend. It's get your parents to watch Attack on Titan, and I'd always looked at anime as like that just looks weird. So I've agreed to watch it I told him for the TikTok clout, and we shoot it here on the couch and whatnot with the anime stuff behind us, whatever. But he does all his editing on the phone, and he's actually doing a pretty good job refining it and getting stuff in. So I'm giving him the content and the humor, and he's doing the editing and he interacts with the chat and whatnot, and it's pretty cool. But that's good on you, Joe. You know, teach them something fun. Hopefully they'll get interested in that.
Yeah,
big future in front of him.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. He's got a bunch of different warring dreams at the moment, but one of them is to have his own YouTube channel, of course, just like we were talking pre-show, most kids these days. But his current big boy goal, because I've expressed to my kids, you can make a living off of YouTube, but make sure you have a solid backup plan or even a primary plan while you build your audience. Mm-hmm. And so his other plan, should YouTube not skyrocket, is he actually wants to become an animator. And so he wants to go to Brigham Young University in Provo, where they have one of the top animation programs in the United States. And yeah, so
okay.
Well, his YouTube channel can be about that journey.
Yeah. Well, and I've told him, I was like, you can do that with your YouTube channel. You can do your animations on there.
Yeah.
So
chronicleize your journey of going through school and all that stuff. That's huge content now.
There was a kid, I think he might have been at Brigham Young. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember. It was a smaller college out Midwest, but it is sophomore year, got a huge following on his TikTok channel by just eating the cafeteria food and rating it. And that's what he did
like
every single day.
Cafeteria food.
Yeah. And it was hilarious. And he didn't do anything other than he ate it. Like, nope, this is a 2, you know. And my wife loved it. I mean, it's just so fun. Being authentic is really what gets you going today, I think. Right. I got so many questions for John. So I'm gonna get my nerding out about it, then we'll get to Borderlands. Now I put ×2 up there. So Borderlands 4. God. Huge. Are you a Borderlands guy, John?
No, the Mrs. Dadbod, she's a huge Borderlands fan. Huge.
Oh, wait.
Tried to get me to play.
I'll tell you what I'm. No, that's fine. But I've got you. She got a birthday. She's got Christmas coming up. She's got something. I got you the gift for maybe, but not this part. Borderlands 4 is coming out, which I'm sure she's already on the pre-order if she loves it or whatever. It's pre-ordered now. Super excited. Looks great. It comes out right before my birthday, so I've already got that planned. But for Father's Day, do you guys play board games like geek board games? And, Monopoly is cool and all, and I love Monopoly, so I reference it. But today's board games, y'all play any stuff like that?
I don't, but my brother does, and he has a whole time. He has a whole session at his bar, so he owns a bar locally, and they do board game nights at his bar because he's super
nice.
Oh yeah,
that's his collection. That's just collection.
It's focusing in on the wrong thing. I've got a few board games up there.
You got a couple. Got a couple few.
We have not been a huge board game family. We've tried a few here and there, and actually this spring Joe introduced me to Dominion, and we've got that. It's awesome. But I forgot it's even on my Amazon list. I simply put it on there because it's Borderlands, but it's a Borderlands board game. It's Mr. Torg's Badass Arena, and the box is huge. And I've got a video clip on my TikTok of my son and I figured it took us 5 hours to figure out how to set it up. Yeah, it's kind of Gloomhaven type of deal. But it's
wow.
We had, of course, you're reading instructions. The instruction manual is 32 pages long. It's very D&D kind of game. If you've ever, it's the best way to explain it is like they really took the best parts of the video game and somehow put it into this board game with figures and tokens and cards, and
wow,
you get to level as you play through the arena, and it's a whole storyline. So we played through the first level twice now. The first time to figure it out, second time to, okay, now we understand it. Let's really play better this time. And then you get to the end of it, and you get to choose a path. And the path will dictate what the next arena looks like. And you will make your way through a multiple campaign session to the boss. And it's all Borderlands. And it is.
Wow.
And so, Jeff, last night, well, I grabbed Riley. Hey, you want to play? So we got cool. We're gonna be much faster now. It says on the box 1 hour. That's a lie. That is a lie.
I will preface the times that they put on the box are for people who already know how to play. That's after you already know what's going on. You don't have to reference the rules all the time.
Well, we were much better the second time. Last night was the second time. We got the thing set up pretty quickly. We knew how to get the cards laid out, all the stuff. We were ready to go. Maybe 20 minutes to set up, maybe. And now still going.
Yeah, setup time is not included in the playtime either.
Right. So we get to playing, and we only had to check the rules once or twice. We got to playing. We got it because the rules are fairly simple. I mean, you can get it pretty quickly. So we didn't check the rules a lot. 3 hours from setup to finish is what we did last night. But the time flew past. It was. I get it when other people are talking about, Gloomhaven or some of these other ones. Or I'm sorry, John. Back in our day, Risk, Fortress America. Right?
I still play Risk. Okay,
right. But that's a 3-day campaign.
That's you guys got to be there for a hot minute.
Yeah.
So I've got a Harry Potter deck building game behind me, and my brother-in-law, who's in the chat here, when the first time I played it, he played it with me, and it was at a New Year's Eve party. And we were like, okay, it starts off where you can go through each year of Harry Potter, so each book, and fight the different bad guys from the different books. And we decided we were going to play through all 7 years. And we were playing it for like 6 or 7 hours. But yeah, it was a ton of fun, but it definitely took a long time. I wouldn't recommend playing through every single year in the future. And the first year is definitely the one that goes the quickest. So,
but you can't stop and come back to it or set up like with Borderlands. We actually had to write down where we were because the tokens are on the card for your level up stuff. But we just documented where we were, packed everything away, and put it away until next time.
At the end, if you continue playing at the end of each year, it gets reset anyway. So it's not meant for you to play every single year. So when you finish a year, you're good. That's what you're expected to do. Is just do 1 year.